Welcome to Fireball Legion, a podcast about the competitive side of Star Wars Legion with hot takes, fresh perspectives, and a focus on the best hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, while Pete desperately tries to keep me on topic, or any topic, really. This is a special mini-episode where we'll try to do most of the info about a new release when it's out, not looking at you, Heroes of the Rebellion. So that way we can look back in 6 months and laugh at how wrong the community was, because we are never wrong. At most, we're delusional. So speaking of never being wrong, I'm today joined by Pete Lyons, known less often as Zyconia, and the world champ himself, or at least as far as Longshanks is concerned, Mr. Greg Capable, sometimes known by what can only be described as his stripper name or his Discord name, Nerferidian. How we doing, gents?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Thanks for letting me on.
We did have to negotiate, but we got it through with our people and your people, so we're very glad to have you. This week what will we be covering? We'll revel in Greg's success as the world number one and get exclusive insights into what it takes to be a world number one, as well as the expert player's tactical genius into the Mandalorian drop, and make some bold and wild predictions with him. We'll review a fine addition to my collection, a recent 2-day event in Orange, New South Wales, giving a brief overview of my matches and the event overall. Then me, Greg, the world number one, and Mitch will reveal our lists for Australia's first GT taking place this weekend in Melbourne, the Battle for Hoth, June 20th to 21st. Before getting into this episode, which is brought to you by the keyword nimble, because you'll certainly need it to stop all of these hot takes.
Thanks, Pete. As you said, before jumping into it, we need nimble, and we also need to know Glenn Capelli a bit better with a few questions. The listeners, they always comment that they want to get us to know a bit better, so let's jump into it. George, what factions do you play?
Rebels and Clone, currently.
Any favourites between the two? There's a right answer here, by the way.
Yeah, I would say Clone should be the right answer there. Oh. Even though I'm currently playing Rebel.
Scum. Well, that's a very interesting take, Jeff. All right, another question for you. Still sparkling or tap?
I'd have to say tap.
Why is that?
It doesn't cost anything, and you never know what you're getting.
That sounds more like rebel speak to me. A little bit more chaos there.
Yeah.
One more question before we jump into it, Gavin. When you get ready in the morning, is it sock, shoe, shoe, or sock, shoe, sock, shoe?
Sock, shoe.
That's quite monstrous. I just want everyone to think about that for a second.
Says a lot about you, Greg. Says a lot about you.
And really, it's more than we like to know about you. But with that aside, everyone understands you as a professional world number one Legion player. So let's jump into some Mando releases. Pete, what do we want to talk about first?
All right. We're all about scales here. Are things good? Are things bad? So we're going to jump into the Mandos and we will be grading units. So this is initial takes. They've only just dropped. There is a lot to read. Generally, I wait for someone else to do a podcast and tell me what's good and bad. I guess today the shoe is on the other foot. Sock and shoe, and then sock and shoe is on the other foot. We'll be using a scale today of absolutely terrible, aka the Mace Window tier. You know, bog standard, whatever. Take him if you want. The Naked Rebel Trooper tier. Or finally, absolutely busted and broken, aka the Aqua droids unreleased tier. So, first up, boys, what are our thoughts? So, the battle force is quite minimalistic. We have two options for our core. We have initiates and warriors. The warriors unlock for us a support choice, which is Mando warriors again, but now in a smaller squad size. We have veterans who come in a series of varieties, and then we have our characters. So the release sort of focuses on three main clans: the Krees, Ren, Saxon, and the Mandalorian OG faction, or the we don't take our helmets off people. we will hold off on the customizable until we get to see more about the 2 customizables coming. But first up, Gregory, Mando initiatives. What is your thought? What tier do you put them in?
I think they're in the Rebel Trooper tier. They're cheap. They don't do much, and they unfortunately don't have nimble.
Oof. I do
Naked Rebel Trooper tier? Do you agree, Pete?
Yeah, I mean, you need things that are going to stand on points and do nothing else. That is their job. They are your cheap, nasty. You take 2 of them because you can only take 2 of them, and they go and stand on a point, and they've done their job and occasionally pop off a crappy little shot here and there.
56 points. Courage 1. That doesn't do anything.
You can play them as Clan Ren and they can Guardian better stuff. What?
No, this is a Mace Window unit. I think they've put the restriction of only 2, so that way you don't buy too much and don't get pissed off at them. These make Mace Windu possibly look good. We should have come up with a worse comparison.
All right, you've convinced me. Mandalorian initiatives are not very good. Next up, we have the Mando Warriors. Now, these come in base size 5. They get a few keywords now. They get Jump 2, Duelist, Impervious, which is also known as Immune Pierce 1. They are 64 points for the base unit. They now have Courage 2 Mitchell, so don't get your knickers in a twist. They have Vibro Swords in melee.
How'd you know I was wearing knickers?
1 black and 1 white. And then they have a blaster rifle with a long shot, so generally range 2, can be range 3, only 1 black dice. Greg, what are we thinking of the Warriors?
I think they're solid for what you get for them. They're a clone trooper, but a little bit more expensive with Impervious. What more could you ask for?
Mitchell?
Well, these guys are 69 points because you're always taking the carbine on them. 5 dudes, range 3, nice. They're a decent melee threat. And jump is always cheeky to get around those line of sight blockers without slowing down. So I think with jump, it gives your objective play a lot more meaning. And between duelist and the 2 dice attack, which still surges, they are very good at not only tackling units from unexpected angles, but they can actually kill the units that they're going into tackle. So I think these guys are a sneaky good. You probably can get away with no heavy on them, and that's probably where they're most efficient.
Fair enough. Well, for every warrior you take, you get to unlock a warrior. But this one has a new subtext of fire support. So for every Mandalorian warrior you take, you unlock the ability to take 1 support token for the exact same unit. The only changes on this unit now are that its gun goes 1 to 3 base, it gains sharpshooter, and you lose a model. So you pay 9 points less, but you only get 4 models base. And it does have that heavy weapon team keyword, which means that your heavy weapon is now the last mini to die, not the second last mini to die. World number 1, what are we thinking?
I think they're a solid unit. I don't think they're Aqua droid good, but they're up there with the Rebel Troopers. Because you need someone to back cap, you need someone to sit at range. These guys can fulfill that role for you with their sniper duo that never dies to the last guy.
Come on, Gilbert. You like the sniper to make him a 90-point unit to throw 2 dice?
Yeah, I'm not liking that at all.
It's the lethal means you can push through stuff, push through damage, but it's the range. You need someone to sit at the back. All the rest of the Mando, no one's allowed to kill them.
Is that your favorite of the 3 heavies then? The Galar bird rifle?
I think for those guys, I like the Galar bird rifle. The only other one might be the Overwhelm one for suppression.
Yeah, that's the only one.
It's irrelevant it becomes.
The Shooker 05 repeater. which is a 1-3 overwhelm, 3 black with their ease of getting aims and probably needing to use the aim because they're only rolling surging black dice.
That's interesting. I have a soft spot for the blast weapon because blast is always a good keyword. Maybe not for these Mandalorians, but in green. But for the bigger squad where you throw in a few more dice, having blast and ignoring cover, particularly when there's rebel scum around and their low-profile bullshit, that's pretty handy.
I just look at them and think that with jump, they probably should be able to touch terrain pieces to negate cover, or you can get angles where you get a majority of the unit out of cover. So I know it is cheaper, isn't it? It's about 6 points cheaper than, but is it 3 white dice on it?
2 white, 1 black.
Yeah. Yeah, but you do drop the range to 2.
Yeah, that is the main problem with it.
It's also got cycle too.
Yes, and that is a terrible keyword. Oh well, we've all claimed a different heavy weapon, and that can be our first thing. Is in 6 months' time we can see which is the most taken heavy weapon.
There's no way it's going to be Giovanni's Galar sniper rifle.
All right, so
you just wait. I think it make number 1 for no reason.
If we could hear Gordon talk, we might be able to appreciate his point. But if he's dropping out, he doesn't have one.
Yeah. World number 1 has spent all his money on his Legion prowess and not a decent internet connection. All right, next up we have the veterans. So the veterans come in a variety of flavors. You can get your clan Krees, your clan Ren, or your clan Mandalorians, aka the Super Commandos. Now, clan Krees, you're paying a premium here. 120 points for 5 models. Surge both ways. Courage 2.
Oh, Pete, we didn't give a rating to the Mandalorian warriors.
Oh, they are bog standard naked rebel troopers.
100%.
They're not that special. This clan Krees, I think with what I've already said, they're almost in the Mace Window tier for me. They do also gain impervious tactical 1, which means you need to give them an order. You need to move to get an aim. They don't have steady or anything, so it's hard to double stack that. There are potentially some ways they can gain charge. They have a melee to range 2 of 1 red, 1 white. And then they also have the Galar carbines, range 1-3, 1 black dice. So they have a keyword, Mandalorians are stronger together. And this is when an allied unit with the Mandalorians are stronger together, keyword spends 1 or more aim tokens. After the effect is resolved, it gains 1 dodge token if it is within range 2 of another allied unit with the Mandalorians a stronger keyword. So they're sort of like the clone commandos where you need to stack them to really get the most out of them and be able to manipulate that keyword so that every time you're spending an aim, you're getting a dodge. So we
should also say that the Mandalorian initiates or the Mandalorian warriors can both take on any of these specialist clan keywords. So your core can stack this keyword if you want it.
Yes, and you lock yourself in somewhat to a clan. You can take 2 clans, is that correct?
Take all of them.
You can take all of them.
5.
In the one,
but you won't get the Battle Force bonuses though.
Yeah.
Like the clan bonus.
Yes. Well, powering through, because we'll just highlight all of the different specialty flavors. You then have your Clan Ren veterans, and they've had a bit of a facelift from their Rebel days, or their original release, which was about 6 years ago now.
They had some work done, have they?
A little bit of work. Not too much, but 1 keyword that they desperately needed. So they are, again, a 4-man unit. They're 92 points. They have jump 2 standard. They have impervious standard. They get nimble. So it used to only be on that special, the Ren family.
No, they all had nimble, mate.
Oh, my bad.
They had retinue.
Retinue, that's the one. So they could get the freebie. They also have Dauntless, which is really important for these guys when they don't have a keyword like charge or steady. So it just helps with that action economy. And their special word is the "We Fight for Our Family." When a unit with the "We Fight for Our Family" keyword makes an attack action, after the effect is resolved, choose an allied unit with the "We Fight for Our Family" keyword within range 2. That unit gains a dodge token. So the other one spent aims to get dodges. These guys, when they make an attack, they give out an aim. Give out a dodge, sorry. Which is quite nice when you've got that nimble keyword. And finally, the last flavor is the evil Mandalorians, or the super commandos.
The superb commandos. What are you talking about? Evil?
Oh, the red ones. Red's normally bad.
Red goes fast.
Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian. So four models, 92 points. Exact same as before. However, they drop nimble for defend 1. They have impervious, jump 2. These guys have independent aim and victory or death. Now, victory or death, someone was drunk when they made this keyword, because this is a 2 courage unit and this is a terrible keyword. When an allied unit with victory or death suffers 1 or more wound from an enemy attack, so you've taken a wound, you've gained a suppression, you can say, hold on, stop. I'd like to gain another suppression. If you do that and put yourself within suppressed range, you get 1 aim or 1 dodge token for your troubles. All right. We've got 3 different specialty flavors of Mandalorian Special Forces. What are we thinking, Greg?
I'll take the Clan Ren because I actually like them. I think they're good out of the box, and they're even better when you put the duelist on them to give them charge as well. So I put them in the what's our good version? The
Aqua droids on release.
Aqua droids, yeah. I think they'll actually see a lot of play.
So you're referring to, they get your standard Galar, the micro launcher, and the Chiruka 05, but they can also get the specialist upgrade that they had access to before, which is paying 30 points, so bringing them up to 122.
22, yeah.
For one extra body. I guess the extra body is important, which brings Pierce 1 red attack dice, and...
It's 2. They fucked up the card.
But yeah, they fucked it up.
Bloody AMG. It doesn't even give you duelist. At the start of the activation, you have to tap the card.
They don't get charged. They don't need duelist anymore because they've got Pierce and
Immune Pierce 1.
Yeah.
So you get a one-off charge, a tappable charge.
You only need the one. I think they're good.
Yeah.
Well, 6 red, 4 white with burst of speed charge at 122. Like, that's cheaper than any force user with burst of speed, and it's arguably more damage because it's 10 dice, 6 of them are high quality. You can slap on O push or whatever garbage you want there, get a dodge before you jump in, and then you're impervious with a nimble dodge. Like, you got to deal with them, and even if they end up out of melee, they shoot basically just as good. These are definitely Aqua droids on release.
And they're good also in Rebels as well. I think they'll be all right there because you can use Ursa to do a entourage order and play a Han 1 pip, and then there's no chance you can stop them.
It's a genuine last firsts, and that's before you even have all their shitty upgrades like the Flammenwerfers.
No, fair enough. So you guys are thinking of the 3 special forces, Clan Ren's where it's at. Purely because...
I think that, yeah.
I think they got the best keyword as well.
Okay. Well, the Super Commandos also have a 30-point upgrade that gives them 2 red, 2 white at range 2 with the Overwhelm.
What do you think about that, Pete?
I don't think any of these units are good. I think Courage 2 is really, really bad. I think these are all just easy fodder. I don't rate any of those special forces. I think I'd much rather my Mandalorian warrior spam.
Interesting.
Over the special forces.
Oh, what do you feel about the superb?
All right. Well,
What do you feel about the superb commando marksman, Pete, at 30 points compared to the Galar rifle at 35? Loses a dice quality and a range.
yeah, some of them just don't make sense. I think it's just because it existed previously.
Just give it native pierce then.
Yeah, because they both have lethal. I don't rate it. I don't think the Galar 90 sniper rifle should ever be seen, and I also don't think the super commando marksman rifle should ever be seen.
So what are you
I don't
rating
think that
them?
unit should ever be seen.
Oh, so you think it's Mace Window? Well, let me put it this way, because I have an opinion on superb commandos versus the Clan Kreese ones. Who is more Mace Window?
The super commandos are by far the worst one of the three.
Really?
Yeah.
You reckon they're worse than the Clan Kreese ones?
Yes.
Which with your Shaka repeater, 148 points. That's almost the cost of Mace Window. It's calling for the rating.
I think they're both terrible. That super commando keyword. Would you like to be suppressed and lose an action to gain an aim?
Yeah, but the superb commandos have compel, so I'm less worried.
They have compel if they're at range 2 of a certain unit.
Yeah, they're good for it.
They're good for it. I don't rate any of the special forces. We will come back and see. If I start running into triple Clan Ren sword wielding things and start getting smashed up, I will happily eat my words. All right, we have to keep this show moving.
Do we?
We do. We have characters. We have a lot of characters. We have a lot of keywords. Most of these characters also have the specialized squad upgrade. Clan Kreese, which is the overpriced one, gets Bo-Katan and Axe Wolf, which is a really cool name, Mr. Axe Wolf. So, what do we think of Bo-Katan and Axe Wove? Wolf? Wove?
I don't know.
Axe Wove.
Gerald, how are you meant to say it?
I don't know either. Just call him Axe.
Okay. Mr. Wolf.
Axe Wove. It's probably French.
Yeah, Axe Wolf. That's definitely his name now.
Yes. I think these guys just reinforce a really annoying play style of what if your red dice, surging defense dice characters all had lots of dodges, and they're really good at reinforcing that play style. They have tiny dice pools. They can get their aims from tactical, so they're moving around, they're getting an aim, they're taking a shot, they're giving a dodge. They need to have 2 actions, really, to be useful at their job. Axe does have charge, but he's only throwing 2 red, 2 white with no keywords. So he's not that exciting at 90 points. Maybe he's good at just getting on a point, getting into melee and just staying there, but that's not very exciting, Legion. The Kreese characters, Mitchell, what do you think?
I think standalone, without thinking about the battle force, I think these are both Mace Windu grade. I think if you start thinking about some combos for Bo-Katan with like some of her weapons and that higher purpose command card that she's got where she can shoot twice, I think there's some Dooku style 1-pip things that you can pull off. But not convinced, because with a flamethrower and relentless on 2 speed 3 moves, it's a threat range of just shy of range 4, I think. So your Cassian Fleet squad, your Ahsoka shotgun squad aren't safe from the flamethrower. So there's some tricks that you can pull there which do high damage into the right matchups, but her card alone, without thinking about anything else, it's definitely Mace Windu.
Absolutely. Gregor?
I have no real opinion on these two. I don't think I would ever play them outside of the battle force. The Bo-Katan's probably okay in the battle force with the Darksaber giving all the other ones We Are Stronger Together to make some sort of mix and match list.
Yeah, that's
maybe,
a good point,
Maybe
Gallagher.
with Clan Ran.
Is because it gives them all Mandalorians. Everyone can have 2 keywords at the same time because they're not unique.
Bo splashed in a Clan Ran Mando list, I think could be okay. You lose the Darksaber on Sabine, and I don't like the Clan Ran Battle Force Guardian thing. For me, I think giving extra suppression to your own guys is really bad for no reason. So that'd be the only place I'd take her, but otherwise I don't think they're great.
Interesting, Graham. Interesting. How do you feel about the Ren characters? Can you introduce them to us?
Oh, I have to have a look what they are. So the Sabine, I think the Sabine is good. She's encouraged to jump to Gunslinger with a better weapon, the Blast Overwhelm with 2 red, 2 black. I think that's good.
But she loses.
She's got Impervious, Nimble. Say that again.
She loses Pierce on her gun.
Yeah,
she does lose Pierce on her gun, but everything nowadays, with the Impervious change and the amount of Mambos out there, I don't think it's going to matter having Pierce 1 gone.
I thought we said that all the Mandos are Mace Window on arrival. Are there going to be that much Impervious around?
I think it's just the arc.
For when they first come out, I reckon there will be. And then what's the other one? Ursa. Ursa's what? 75 points. I think she will be an interesting include in Rebel list to do some maybe 4 special forces. They're only entourage possible unit.
Oh, yeah.
75 is awfully cheap for that. Like you don't need to get any value out of it. You can just put her in because 75, that's the price of like some like mid-tier special forces or high-tier core units with a heavy, and she's got better health than that. She's faster than that. And 4 dice, it's not much, but it's consistent. So,
think of her versus Leia. Like you take Ursa and put a flamethrower on her, you got a heaps better unit.
And she's also a commander token, which in Rebels you really, really care about your operative tokens because Han Ton is just stapled in there, and then you normally want another operative, probably not her. So yeah, she does have that commander token bonus for you.
What rating are we giving them then?
I think they're both just Rebel troopers.
I'd agree.
Any differences, Pete? Okay. I reckon Ursa is creeping on the territory of Aqua droids on release.
Oh, wow. Okay. You think, is that in Rebels or is that in a Mandalorian force?
Probably in Rebels. You can just throw her in.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we're going to have a look at the Saxon clan. So these are the evil guys. We have Gar.
Surely these guys, Pete, they speak most to the heart of Legion, where you got to trust in the sack when you go and digging for orders. Absolutely. It's Clan Saxon. These are it. These are the pinnacle of Legion.
Of the sack. Is it SACK or is it SAX?
Just trust the process. You'll get your answer.
All right. These guys, this guy, Big Gar, the head of Clan Saxon. He's
Big
Mandalorian. He has Impervious. He has Jump 2. He has Marksman, which is important because he's in that faction where you take wounds, you can get aims, you can get suppression. He has Compel, which I think is super important in this faction, which is just crippled with 1 action. So he brings Compel to the Mandalorians, which is very, very important. He has a pretty crappy gun. It's 2 red, 2 black at range 2. Or he gets built in his sniper rifle, which is quite interesting now. It's the Galan 90, so they've got a bigger number, so it's better. It's range 1 to 5. It's high velocity. It has lethal 2. Then it's 2 red, 1 black. So if he does have a big abundance of aim tokens, and sorry, I forgot to mention he does have the keyword advanced targeting troopers. So if he shoots at a trooper, He just naturally, it's like Hunter, but always on when you shoot a trooper. Lethal 2 is really interesting the first time in the game. So if he shoots, he hits something, he can spend 2 aims to make it pierce 2. Then he comes along with his girlfriend, Rook Cast, the devoted...
His side piece. Side
piece. Now, she also brings a pretty useful keyword, which is coordinate, because this faction sucks at order control. She has the jump 2, impervious, target 1, so she wants an order. She's a bit selfish. And she also has retinue, so she's good at aim stacking on herself. What does she want all the aims for? Good question. Her gun is...
style.
2 red, 2 black, and she surges to crit. So if you ever need 2 aims on that dice pool, I'm a bit worried. It does have overwhelm, which is a slight benefit. I'm not rating either of these units. I think the sole thing which is important is Gar Saxon's compel keyword. I think these are Mace Window tier. You will only ever see people bringing this, and they will bring a 1 of Gar Saxon for the compel. What about your thoughts?
Interesting.
Jeff?
I think they belong in a sack and dropped in the ocean. That's about my limit of wanting anything to do with the Saxon one.
It's because you can't take him in Rebels, Grover. If you could take him in Rebels, you'd be singing a different tune.
No, the only people who are going to take them are the diehard playing them already, and they also don't win games now. So for them, it's probably a little bit better than it was before. But they're the only ones who will be interested in them.
If you are a Saxon fanatic, we'd love to hear from you and get you on the podcast.
We call them Saxon appreciators that appreciate the art of the sack.
All right. Mitchell, are you very much along the same boat here? Are we moving on?
I think if Shadow Collective gets access to this Sax Chief or Mandos exist, I agree, Compel makes a lot of sense. I think the combo of advanced targeting and marksman, particularly with how you can whip up additional tokens when you sort of muddy a few of the keywords together, it could make him quite an efficient character hunter. The problem is he doesn't have bounty. If he had bounty, he's going straight to Aqua droids and release. Without that, if he sort of gels in with like Mando lists making sense, yeah, he's probably naked rebel trooper. But without that being a certainty, yeah, as much as I want him to be not in Mace Window's realm, he's with him.
All right. Almost finished up this Mandalorian slog. We've got to get through it. So we now have the TV show characters, and they all bring a keyword called "Do You Know the Way?" And that is when an allied unit with this keyword is issued an order, choose up to X units with the Children of the Way. Units within range 2, and each of those units performs the action listed by the unit that was issued an order. Long way of saying that is, let's go with the armorer. She has This Is the Way, Move 1, or Recover 2. So if you give the armorer an order, you can pick 1 unit, which will make a Move 1 move, not yourself, but another unit within 2. Or you can pick 2 units within 2, and both of them can recover. I keep saying this faction sucks at getting rid of suppression, so that is, potentially a almost auto-include if you are not a sack believer and you don't have compel. So the 3 characters here are Armorer. She's a Mandalorian. She has jump 2. She can aid specifically to other Children of the Way. She has charge, great for action economy. She has impervious, reliable 1, which is only useful on the offensive side with her, or she can aid it over to, say, crappy initiatives who don't surge red. Her melee is the hammer and tongs, 3 red, 3 black, crit 1, impact 2, pierce 1, and her command cards are interesting in that she can do some double taps. She is a commander with courage 3. We then drop to her mate, who is the fat Mandalorian, Paz Vizsla.
He's not fat. He just has a curved spine.
Oh, that's how I remembered him. He was the fat Mandalorian on the show.
He's just chonky.
It's chonky. Well, he can still jump too, so take that. He is an operative with Field Commander, so he does help give out a little bubble. He is also Courage 3. He has Impervious. He has another great word for action economy, Steady. And he has Do You Know the Way, Aim 2. So very good at handing out aims to his mates. He has a Vibro knife in melee, so native Pierce 1, 2 red, 2 white. He has a repeating blaster pistol, 1 red, 3 white, 2 black, with Overwhelm, only 5 health. And he has some cool command cards, one where he can keep taking wounds to gain standbys and loses his courage value. And then finally, it's the Mandalorian himself, recently starring in a movie theater near you. He is coming in, and I don't think he's changed much from his original card. I
think he's exactly the same for now.
Yeah, he is exactly the same for now, with maybe some upgrades to reveal. I think these ones they're not quite a Naked Rebel Trooper. They're not quite Aqua droids on release. I think there is a middle ground, which is probably like Naked Rebel Troopers with an SX-13. And I think that's where these guys fit. I feel like these armies have building blocks, and these are two very stable pieces that you probably want to build into whichever flavor you want to go. What are your thoughts?
Maybe we can call that Riot Troopers with Fifth Brother, because that gives us an Empire analogy as well.
Oh, no one cares about the Empire. We need to keep it that way. My sleeper faction. Look, I don't agree, Pete. I think the Armourer is an Inquisitor with a new coat of paint. Speed 2, no range attack. Like, the offense is fine. It's 6 dice. I don't care. No real way to influence the board apart from a move 1. It's like a weird support character that sort of punches. The only redeeming factor, which doesn't make her an Inquisitor and makes her Mace Window, is that she's Courage 3, which maybe you need. Maybe. The chunky dude, he's fine, and Din is obviously very, very consistent and adds a wrinkle, but I don't know if you need Din's sort of toolkit in a Mandalorian list where it's sort of it exists in many different forms. So I think he's going to be less good in a Mandalorian list, but he's still very good. Graham, any thoughts?
I think the Armourer is like, if you're doing a Children of the Watch list, I think you have to take the Armourer. One for the courage, and 2, I actually think the recover is probably more important than the move, because you have no Inspire in the list. Your Courage 2 units are going to get suppressed a lot, and then losing the 2 actions will be a big thing. So I think she'll be useful there. But yeah, her melee offense is, it's fine, but you might not be using it that much either. But I think she's in that list. I think she will become a Mace Window just for the fact you sort of have to take her.
It's sort of like,
and she gets Vader's implacable card, pretty much.
Yeah, when you go to Woolworths and you leave your car and you forget to bring your shopping bags, and you have to run back and get them. That's sort of what her and Paz are. You need them, because if you don't have them, it's just a huge inconvenience with only having Courage 2. So I think that they're basically Woolies shopping bags. Something you have to take because you have to do it, because it's an inconvenience not to do it.
I think someone spoiled that you can take generic Joe Blow with Courage 3. So there is another way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in the Build-A-Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mitchell.
But we'll talk about that another time for another mini episode where there's a release.
Yeah. So too long didn't read. Warriors are decent. Special Forces, highly controversial. I think they're trash. Greg thinks they're broken. Mitch is on the fence. And as far as the characters go, we think Ursa is the bee's knees and will be appearing everywhere. And Clan Ren and Clan Criers may have some potential to pop up here and there. Clan Saxon have been flicked in the sack and will be seen no more. And This Is the Way faction is probably there because it has to be there. All right, we're going to move on from the Mandalorians because they are quite a mouthful to try and pronounce some of those names. And I'm going to be talking about a little event which occurred at Orange, New South Wales.
Hold on, mate. You don't get to jump over. We're meant to be charading as a competitive podcast.
Oh, sorry.
So let's bring it into totality.
Okay.
Do we think like single Mando faction lists will be a thing?
No.
A competitive thing or just a thing?
Will it do 4-1 at a major?
Negatory. I do not think they are competitive as a battle force.
I reckon you will be able to get 4-1 with them with the right pilot. It'll probably be pilot over the list itself, providing the extra strength. But I think you'll see it happen.
Well, Gilroy, we can't all be world number one according to the longshanks. So maybe you can, but us washed up veterans or people called Pete, I don't know if we can pull that off. What about mixed Mando? Is there any mixed Mando that isn't Bo-Katan with the Darksaber?
Sounds like a resounding no.
Great.
Cool. Moving straight along. Unless you got an opinion, Pete.
Axe Woves at 90 points. I don't think so. Like, he's got that coordinate to give a free face up to a clan cries unit. I don't think so. I think Sabine Wren maybe got a little bit better. Maybe she got a little bit worse. But no, I think Ursa Wren is it for a mixed Mando list. Or taking Mando outside of the Mandos.
So let me put this out into the ether. If you have Bo-Katan with a Darksaber, so everyone gets Mandalorians are stronger together, and then you make the rest of your list, what do you call them? Clan Ren. So they get both Mandalorians are stronger together and whatever you call the other one.
Are you just parroting what I said earlier?
We fight
what am I?
Family.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You can generate multiple tokens with every attack.
Yes, but you have to go with the units to do that. And the units have to not panic.
You keep vigilance on your commanders.
Oh, yeah, vigilance. Forgot about that upgrade.
Yes, those 9 points, which I'm sure you can spare.
All right, last archetype that's possible. Will we see the superb commandos in the Shadow Collective?
There's like 2 Australian players who believe so, and they will keep believing so, and they will keep keeping on.
2. There's the Spaniard. Who's the other one?
Zane, my commission painter from Queensland.
Oh, of course.
And the MMA fighter we met at CanCon.
He's a good bloke.
He was
bumped into him the other day.
And he also played Mandos.
I think he's got his next fight in September, so we'll have to get on that. Yes. That could be one of my something that's unrelated to Legion topics.
He can come on the podcast anytime. I've never felt more
all right, Pete.
buying gelato at 2 a.m. than with an MMA fighter behind me.
All right, Pete, you clearly had enough of these Mandos and red saves, so tell us what white save shenanigans you want to talk about next.
All right, so a fine addition to my collection, which is another great event from the Jeff Vader series, was held in Orange, New South Wales last weekend. This event had such a cool turnout. There were 18 people, only 4 locals, and 14 other people had all driven over 300 Ks to get there, which just shows like the power of the community. There's a crew from Griffiths who come up, and then James Rutledge also comes up from Dapto. And Orange is basically the top of the mountain. I'm
sorry, Dapto? That's a place?
It is, very much. It's south of Wollongong, I've learnt. But half of the people who come decide that to do a Legion event properly, you also need to go and camp at the top of the mountain. So they sleep in their tents at -2 degrees and freeze, and then come and play Legion, and then go back and freeze on the top of the mountain. I think they're all really annoyed on the Sunday because they were hungry because kangaroos had stolen all their food. So big shout out to all the Griffiths boys who braved.
Are you calling yourself a kangaroo now, are you?
I did not make it up the mountain this time, but I feel like it's got to become a pilgrimage to get up that mountain and just freeze in between Legion games. So this was quite a lot of very good players did come. I did win the event, and I'm going to quickly run through a couple of my games. Yeah, spoiler.
What'd you take first? What whack
So-
trash have you got this time?
So I just wanted to get a feel on the snipers. I treated this as some practice for Melbourne. So I took Foot Falcon Greg, just running around on his feet. And then I had Poggle. So Poggle's job is a Courage 3 bubble, which came in handy quite a lot. For my operatives, I had one super tack, and my super tack was a Tyrannical Taskmaster. He had Slice Comms as well as Overclock and an Electro Staff. And also, I give out a free direct order each turn. 3 naked B1s, which has been a change I've shifted into recently. I feel very naked doing it, but the 3 naked B1s did their job all weekend. I then went 3 BXs with swords, and 2 of them had the bomb as well. 3 snipers, then 2 ion spiders, and 1 droid decker. So nice all-round list. A lot of the time, I wanted to keep 6 support tokens in my sack and just trust the sack that they'd come out when I needed them. There was one game when I manipulated a little bit. So...
Oh, you manipulated the sack, did you?
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to...
Is that 15 acts?
That is 15 acts.
That is
Absolutely delicious.
unpleasant.
It was a really fun list to play. And I'll go through some of the battle reports and just sort of say how I got the edge on each opponent. So, started off playing Jesse he's one of the mountain men, and he brought a pull-way special of all the B1s in the invasion force. So 8 B1s, double squads with snipers. He had a T-series, and he had 1 AAT. This game just came down to, I just have to kill his T-series and he's Courage 1. I managed to kill his T-series in turn 1 with a combination of snipers and an orbital bombardment. I think I only killed 4 squads of B1s because there's just so many, but I just spent the rest of the game split firing. And yes, you do roll red dice with Indomitable, but if you've always got 5 or 6 suppression on you, you're always panicked. And you're still probably not rolling off. You're probably keeping 2 suppression on. So I think he spent over half the game with most of his units panicked. And I was just able
It's like you made it a really fun, interactive game. I'm sure it had a very tight scoreline where you respected your opponent coming to a major event in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Jesse had a good time. I think he's like...
Did he?
That list is...
Have we got some audio of him saying, I had a great time playing this prick who had 15 active droids and panicked my units most of the game.
He had 120 B1s, and just every time you'd look over, you'd see him like picking them up and moving them 2 at a time. And he had like a movement dance for moving all the B1s. So, yes, the game wasn't very close in the end, but I'm sure...
What was the score then? What was the score?
It was 17-1. So
You're a bad man.
So, yes, it was contact, and recon. I think...
Contact. Sounds like contact once and then you KO'd him.
It was a bit... game number 2. So this is a bit of a rivalry match. A fellow Newcastle Jets fan, Joel Petit, the Maitland Marauder.
Forever undefeated Joel Petit.
Yes, Joel Petit. Now, Joel's list I was very scared of before the event. I had a look at the list, so I went, uh-oh, here it is. It's that rebel nastiness. So he is running Luke Ton and Hon Ton. And then he does 2 rebel officers, one with the axe, frontline commander, and the detonator, and the other one with heavy blaster pistol, detonator. So they're the ones, if you get next to them, they have quite a nasty slap back. He had 2 naked rebel troopers. He had the Cassian Mega Fleet Squad with all the things. He had triple commandos with the Saboteur. He had 2 laser cannons and then 3 sniper teams. So it was a 15 act on 15 act, but he did the standard thing of, I'm going to make Han unstoppable turn 1. This match was a pretty tight one. Like, I think Joel, at the end of it, we sort of sat down and we looked at it and we rolled up, and it was shifting priorities surface scan. So we both have 15 acts. The game's going to be very, very wide. We can both contest all 5 points at any given time. And the board was quite terrain dense on my side of the board and his side of the board, but the middle was quite open. So it was sort of like whoever blinked first and got to the middle was probably going to score points, but then pull the points towards their opponent's much better defensive side. The huge error Joel made is it was surface scan. And I gave my surface scans to 2 spider droids, which you can't panic. And he gave his surface scans to Honton Luke and Honton Han. And then he proceeded to yeet Han, who was in my lines turn 2, as he does. I think he ate a unit of BXs on the way in and then got into another unit of snipers and ate them up. But then he was in my deployment zone with nothing within about 18 inches of him. And I have all of my droid tricks to put suppression on you out of when you're in melee. So I can slice comms you. I can General Grievous can do his wheelie bird attack. So I had his scanner in my deployment zone, and both of mine were relatively safe. He went up 4-0 in turn 2 because he did contest the middle and I held back. Then in turn 3, I think there was just a few dice rolls that were nasty. I think Greg drove and one-shot a commander, and then Whirly Bird and finished off a sniper unit and also a naked core trooper unit, which just meant I got activation parity over Joel there, and I think we called it at the end of turn 3. He just realised he'd made a mistake by yeeting Han so far up. He probably should have put a scanner on an ATRT or something that it can't be panicked off, just because my list has triple snipers, slice comms, so many tricks to make people drop scanners, which is what I'm trying to do. And he allowed me to do that. Game 3.
Hold on. So, Grant, as our Rebel aficionado and number 1 on Longshanks rating world champ player, what do you think about the 15-act Rebels? Do you like it with the Commando package and the ATRT and the Vibro Act Commander?
I don't mind
whatever stuff you're doing in the background there.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just taking this time to paint my list for Melbourne, which isn't painted. I think it's good. I think it has legs in ATRTs being with the commandos, so you can sort of hold the commandos back. But yeah, 15-act Rebs is a very common, as you'll see when we talk about Melbourne lists.
I want to see a third support slot in that list. I'd even say drop the 3 proton charges from the Rebel Commandos and maybe a few upgrades to try and squeeze in a 16 AT, which would be another ATRT. I don't think those Rebel Commandos, I think they're a trap with the Proton Saboteur. Yes, it's a beautiful attack. You have to be at range 1, which I don't think is going to happen very often. So, yes. All
right. Keep us going, Pete.
Keep it rolling in. All right. Game 3. This was one of the ones where I did a bit of sack manipulation. I was up against James Rutledge. Bit of revenge. He beat me at CanCon 2 years ago. So I got my revenge game in. James is an OG. I think he's been playing since day 1. He brought the Greg Magna Mega Squad. He had Maul. He had a snail tank. Then he just had a pretty spammy sys list. Like he had the sword BXs, he had some sniper teams, he had some droidicas. I think it was 14 acts versus 15, so I had the one up on him. And then turn 1, we both played a 4-pip, I believe, and he won priority. So I knew I was going to get last 2 activations, so I stuck my standing orders and I stuck my direct onto my 2 ion spiders. The table was one of those tables where there's a giant line of sight blocker in the middle. So we both sort of knew that turn 1, no one was really getting any shots, but it's near impossible to hide a snail tank from ion spiders. So by doing that with the stack and just surrendering order control turn 1, I was able to wait him out. The snail came on, and the snail then got lit up by 2 ion spiders. So I think it ended turn 1. The last 2 activations put 7 wounds on it and 2 ion tokens. And then I immediately went into a 1-pip with Exterminate to try and finish it off with another ion spider shot. And I don't think I got it straight off the bat, but James had sort of conceded that it wasn't going to get another action and hadn't given it an order. So I think the 2 ion shot at it again, and then maybe Grievous finished it off. And then from there, I was up so many points. His Greg unit dived into my Greg, and they spent 4 turns slapping each other and not killing each other. His Maul dived into my super attack, didn't kill it, and I withdrew, slice comms him, and then proceeded to light Maul up with all of my little fires, all my little shots. So snipers were split firing into him, BXs or B1s were shooting into him, BXs were shooting into him. I think Maul ended turn 2 with about 11 suppression. Didn't kill him, but took him out of the game effectively. And then from there was able to snowball. Game 4, quite interesting. So this is against like the villain of the Legion scene, Jeff Vader. Now, Jeff, being the TO, he had to release his list prior to the event to make sure he didn't cheat. He released the list and then proceeded to change it.
He released the files, did he?
He released the files. Now, I'm pretty sure Jeff looked at my list and copied and pasted it and submitted my list and made 1 or 2 changes. Now, he saw Grievous in our game. So we were very, very similar lists. We both had Ion Spiders. We both had a super attack. While I had Greg, he had taken Kalani, but he had one of his BXs fully upgraded with the Asajj in it for his mega hitter. Now, I'd sort of the board had 2 huge terrain pieces just about 6 inches off the center of the board. So the center of the board was incredibly open, and Greg didn't really have a double move anywhere turn 1 to get anywhere safe. So I just sort of moved him on at the back edge, thinking he'd be safe. And turn 1, not much happened. It was just positioning. Turn 2 is when it all started shooting. And Greg just saw red, and he put everything he could into Grievous. So he was mega moving his Ion Spiders to shoot Greg in the open. Greg took 2 Ion Spider shots, a sniper shot, an orbital bombardment. I think he did 4 or 5 wounds. He did about the average. He did suppress Greg to the point where he got 1 action because of Poggle. And then, again, there was just positioning on turn 2. We were just trying to get to the point. It was like the last 5 activations was I'd move a double move onto the middle point. He'd double move onto the middle point. I'd double move onto the middle point. He'd double move onto the middle point. So there's about 10 activations. And the mission we were playing, was payload. So there's only 3 points to contest. So nobody actually moved the middle payload turn 2, but a lot of units got there. And Greg really likes it when units ball up. Unfortunately, he had 5 or 6 suppression on him. Now, turn 2 started, and I'd sort of conceded that Grievous wasn't going to really contribute much to the battlefield. Everybody now had shots. I put all of my shots into Greg's army. Greg put all of his shots into Grievous. So 2 more Ion Spiders went into Grievous. I think another sniper went in. Poggle dived to get shots. Greg was alive on 1 wound. I think he had about 9 suppression at this point, so he wasn't doing anything. But while Greg spent Jeff spent the whole game shooting Grievous. I was shooting his units, and I was just slowly knocking them off one by one by one by one. And turn 3 ended, and I think he'd lost 7 activations, and I'd lost nothing. And I think he looked at the board state and sort of went, all right, I've dived really hard here. I think his Asajj Mega Squad was in melee with a single BX. So its big attack pool was wasted next turn because he didn't have a way to get out of melee. And then right at the top of turn 4, my super attack charged into an Ion Spider with 5 wounds and killed it by rolling 4 crits and a surge. And Jeff failing to roll any of them, and he just went, nah. At this point, I'd gotten that far ahead. So that was game number 4. What did you think of Jeff's list?
Look, I don't think it knows its identity. Some Iron Spiders is nice, but with so much BX points dropped in there, there's no one really to sort of encourage him forward. I think while Kalani works in a lot of lists, Kalani probably wants to be assisting the Ion droids, whereas you probably want to get away to get those tokens on the BX. So maybe Kraken is a slightly better choice here because it's another melee threat, and you could still strategize and get those tokens shared around. But I don't know. I think it's trying to do 2 very different things. So one of them isn't going to work on any given table or any given objective. So I think the lack of cohesion probably pulls it back a bit. Yeah, fair enough. Well, the final game was a CanCon rematch. And this was against Sam Ive. So we played in the CanCon final and we met again. Sam was out for revenge, but I was having none of that. So he's a Dooku player at heart. He always brings Dooku. He had Asajj, and I was blue, he was red, and he flipped missions, and he had brought Breakthrough in his deck, and he flipped Breakthrough as his last activation of turn 0. And we both sort of looked at it and went, it just makes a weird game, Breakthrough, because it basically makes 2 side games. And the order in which you deploy on Breakthrough is super important. Because you're basically counter-picking your opponent. You don't want to end up with 1/3 of your army on one side and 2/3 on the other. And then your opponent does a 50-50 split. Realistically, both of our lists, he had Aqua droids, he had some spiders, he had some snipers. I think he was at 13 activations. Realistically, neither of us had anything that could get from one side of the board to the other very quickly. Like, no one had speeders. Maybe I can overclock some spider droids to throw them really quickly. And he committed hard, super hard, to one side of the board. Like, I think he put a flame spider there because he drew it early. I was like, okay, cool. And then he put an ion spider there and didn't take a shot turn 1. I was like, okay, that's cool. And I countered it by putting a unit of BXs with the swords. And I cohered them out just a little bit in case he wanted to, take a shot with Dooku, or maybe Asajj wanted to burst the speed and try and get some turn 1 shots in. And quite early on, about drop 8 or 9, he put Dooku down and took the shot to scatter my BXs and cohere them forward. And I was looking at it going, if Asajj drops on this side, I've won, because he's committed Dooku, Asajj, 2 spiders, and there was a BX at that point on a Breakthrough game to one side of the board. And I just said, I will so easily sweep his other side. I think he saw the scatter play, saw red, went for it. And he did eventually put Asajj later down on the other side of the board. But my split was a lot better. And I sort of did put a couple of units central, my Ion Spiders. And it came down to Grievous and 2 units of BXs versus Asajj, 4 units of naked B1s, Aqua droids, a super attack, and I had all of my supporting cast coming up behind. So I had all of my B1s, I had my Ion Spiders, I had my snipers, and by about end of turn 4, I think we both claimed each other's bunker in turn 3, sorry. And
we both saw it was going to be who could get the secondary objective, and it was retrieve the data. So whoever could get to the middle first to get the retrieve the data was going to win the game. And I had about 6 units that were all within one move of getting there and capping it, and he had nothing that could get there. So that's how that game ended. Looking at it, I made me think a lot about breakthrough, and I just don't think anyone should be putting breakthrough in their deck unless they have triple dark troopers or Honton to manipulate the turn 1 split. I think it's such a janky mission. I think breakthrough games are one of the few missions where you can look at the board state and say this game's over in turn 1. I don't think there's many other missions where that happens. But breakthrough, I don't think anyone should put it in their deck. I think it's a terrible card unless you are very, very prepared. So unless you're super speeder heavy and you can switch really easily, or you can manipulate turn 1 and react to your opponent. Thoughts?
You heard it here first. You have breakthrough with prepared positions. That's what you need, apparently. Congrats on the win, Pete, on another 5-0. You're just lucky that Longshanks' number 1 best player wasn't there to knock you down a peg. But congrats on the 5-0.
Thank you. I took home a Mando box, and I got a very nice lightsaber, which I've been attacking my children with.
Fantastic. Now, I can hear the feedback already. You said mini episode, and I honestly did mean it. So next time, we'll just go for longer than this so-called mini episode. If you're still listening, then that's your fault. You've made that choice. But there's one more topic before we wrap up this.
The big one.
Conversation. Yes, the big one. And that is the GT happening this weekend on June 2021 in Melbourne. So apparently there's 40-odd players or something like that. How many are on Longshanks now? Let me have a look. Not just
40, but if you look at some of the sign-ups, we've got Don't Want to Use This App. He's coming. We've got Aaron Harrison. We've got Here for the Drinks, Matt J. We've got Phoenix 1. We've got Zaburns Skywalker. There are a lot of players coming. And if you actually scroll down on Longshanks, you have to scroll down quite a bit because they're not very good. But we actually have some internationals braving Australia. We have Erin Keston and Nathan Thornestonton is also coming. So we have some Kiwis to welcome to our shores. And I think it's been I think there was a CanCon in about 2017 where 2 Kiwis came. So it'll be great to welcome some internationals.
Yeah, always good to have internationals. Well, you live remote enough that you're basically international. It probably takes you longer to get there than it would take them, maybe twice over. But it's a good spot in Melbourne. It's got a bar attached, which is always handy. So 5 rounds, 40-odd players. If there's 2 undefeated 5-0s, TO has made the unbelievably sound, wise, poised decision that there is no top cut, and simply SOS will decide it. That's right.
The system.
If you want to win a GT, you not only have to win all your games, but you have to trust in a process that you have no control over. At least when you're fiddling in the sack, you're pulling that token out. Longshanks does the draw. There is no control on that. Grant, any thoughts?
No. I think my goal for this event will be to play Pete, and if he beats me, then tank his SOS as a victory prize.
Right. Well, screw you, because I have rubbed Melbourne's very own premier player, previous writer of the Bantha magazine, Hammers Brett. So I at least get to dodge you for round 1.
Yeah. So you're saying I've got to win 1 game? That's all I need. 1 game?
All you need. One game and a hope.
You hear it here first. World number Longshanks 1, going 1-4 after playing Pete.
He doesn't have it.
But yeah, geez. The first premier event of the season, and they can't even find a system to get an outright winner. Like, there is a chance that we do get one outright winner if some pair-ups win, which can happen, but doesn't usually. But but it's just a bit ridiculous. That shouldn't happen at any Premier event where there's things that potentially matter. He cares about his invite to skip day one of Worlds.
Mitch, I hope you go 5-0 and you don't win. Is all I can say.
You know it'll happen. If I go 5-0, you know I won't win.
I hope you play Greg round 1, and then he genuinely tries to win his next 4 games and loses them all.
Hey, it might happen.
But that is not going to happen, is it? Because, Greg, that is a segue. What filth have you brought to this event? I'd like you to go through your list. I'd like you to tell us your strategy. I'd like you to tell us how you think you will go.
Well, I'm doing Rebel, 15 Rebels. Almost the standard. I wanted to try the Vigilance package out again. So I've got 2 Rebel Troopers, 2 Rebel Officers with Vigilance. I've got a Rebel Agent with Improv and a blaster on him. The standard Honton, and my spicy tech there is I put a jammer on him. So hopefully I get to trigger some AI with him. I've got the Cassian Superfleet with all the bells and whistles. I've got a Jin Rebel Trooper squad with an SX 21, and then 3 more Rebel Troopers with SX 21, and then
really
3 commandos.
Neck.
I know. I love a good neck. Got 3 commandos with the proton bombs, and then 3 snipers. So high axe, and then just see what happens. Try and play the mission.
A typical Greg list.
Hopefully.
Is the Honton 1 pip, is that a staple for turn 1?
I think it every time I've done it and you haven't played it turn 1, it's usually hard to play it turn 2 because you're like, I could play this card or this card or this card. So I think it's a turn 1 play just to get the extra activation and then the delayed double action to throw hand wherever you need him.
Yeah, I think the play I see a lot is Han 1 pip turn 1 into the Rebel Agent. Is it the 2 pip where you get the extra pass tokens?
Yeah, the delayed one, for the pass tokens.
I think that seems to be almost the standard Rebel opener creeping into the game now.
It just makes sense. Like that 1 pip is so awkward to play not on turn 1, because turn 1 you can be passive with your list, and then turn 2 you want to be going in for your objective.
All right.
Well, there's some secret tech going into the weekend. If you play against Gauge Capable, he's going to play the Han 1 pip turn 1.
90% of the time?
100%. 100% of the time, it probably won't happen.
And Greg, how do you think you go? I mean, you are walking into this event looking big. Like, your mast is tall. You're
looking big 1. Like Paz Fat Guy, the Mandalorian thing.
Are you ready for people to ask you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I expect to go 4-1. Would be my guess.
All right.
Because random chance. You could be rolling all the attack dice, and your opponent just rolls all blocks, and that happens.
Fair enough.
Just don't be shit.
Yeah, just roll better.
Always advice. Mitch, you or me up next?
Oh, go on. Tell us about your changes to your list, or have you done something completely different?
I have made changes from my Orange event. Orange event was test things out. I've tested them out. I've seen what I liked. So Foot Falcon Greg stays. I have given him Seize the Initiative because I do have cards where Greg doesn't get an order, and it always feels awkward trying to pull a commander token out of the stack. Poggle has also been cut. Poggle was a Courage 3 bubble, which I loved, but ultimately Poggle does nothing else other than a Courage 3 bubble. You think he's quick, but he's not quick. He's very slow. He has 2 black dice. For like 20 points more, I can have something that does a lot. So I have got 3 super tactical droids. All of them have got...
Of course you fucking do.
All of them have...
That is disgusting.
All of them have got the Electro Staff. So first up...
It's like there's only one good weapon.
First up, we have the commander. So I have a seek and destroy commander. He has advanced combat subroutines, so he gains lethal and sharpshooter. He has overclock, e-gear, and offensive push. So if he's within range 2, he can get into melee and normally guarantee an aim or 2 with offensive push and seek and destroy. He can also, if it's a turn where I can get some orders onto other things, one of the other super attacks can bounce an aim to him. And if it's tactical download, I can get that 4th aim onto him. So normally he can roll up to a tank and he can do 4 crits, Pierce 1 or something, because my list struggles a little bit into armor. So I've got 2 operative super attacks. One is quite basic. He's just seek and destroy, slice comms, and electro staff.
I don't think he's basic. I think he's beautiful too.
You do? Very nice, very nice. Well, I then have my Maximus Opal. So this is the super attack I've really been relying on. It is a tyrannical taskmaster, which means I get a 3 refresh on a force power. He has optimized task flow, so he is my direct bot. He has overclock and slice comms, so a free move or a 2 suppression at range 2. So that's my complement of commanders, and they're sort of what my list is built around. I have 3 naked B1s, 2 4-man BXs with swords, 2 snipers, and then my best performing unit over the weekend was Ion Spiders, so I've decided to bring 3 Ion Spiders.
I thought you said you had an armor problem. You got 3 Ion Spiders.
Look, if I run into triple AAT or triple Saber or triple this, like, Ion Spiders do go down, and I generally play them as my back cappers, or there are quite a few missions where I quite like them to hold like a surface scan. And my battle deck is all about creating chaos. So shifting priorities and contact, where the board is super spread out. I've got the 15 activations. I like to spread my opponent out. I like to be spread out. I like chaos. We are playing.
You heard it here first. Pete likes to be
spread out. Yeah. Is that a top or a bottom?
I like spread out. I like chaos, and I like clocks. Okay.
Your list. How's it go with its auto control with only the 3 B1s?
Absolutely terrible, but
oh, he's trusting the process. His faith is in the set.
Yeah, I was ready to give you shit for having the 6 B1s with the E5Ss, and you've disappointed me.
Look, what I can do is generally an order goes 3 core troopers face up onto a super attack, and then Greg normally gets the standing orders order. And then in my stack, it's 2 special forces, which are generally, they're not yeeting up anywhere. They're generally playing it pretty safe. They're hiding somewhere, and they're waiting behind something to jump out later. And then it's 5 support. I am a bit worried about pulling all my support too early, because I like to shoot the snipers turn 1. I like to get the dice rolling and get things dropping. It is definitely a weakness. I do have seize the initiative and 1 direct, but things were cut. Directs were cut from this list to give it some other tricks.
Nice.
So yes,
that
is my list.
Seems very different for you. So it'll be good to see how you will end up playing it. What's the score you're putting on the board there, Pete?
Defending champion. It's not worth winning if you don't win big. So I'm looking to beat all my opponents by at least 6 victory points, but then be really polite to them so that they keep my SOS going. And I'm looking to take out the event.
Oh, big call.
How many burps per opponent?
Well, somebody doesn't have a ticket.
1 per victory point that he scores.
Greg, I believe you're buying my drinks day 1, having not purchased a ticket yourself. So as many drinks as you purchase for me, that's how many burps.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll bring a liter of Gaviston, and you bring the beer. All right, Mitchell. Tell the people,
yes,
the fallen ex-best Australian player. You've been sort of washing it out.
Mr. Washed Up.
Mr. Washed Up old man. What have you brought?
Washed Up might be giving me too much credit. This is the least inventive droid list I could come up with a little spice to it. So it's Kalani, 5 sniper B1s, Y5, we'll get to that. 3 iron spiders, 2 heavy aquas, and then a little bit of spice. Instead of the 6B1, I've brought the son of Fak, the ruthless lieutenant, completely naked. And then I saw Bosk and wanted to put him in a list. So it's got Feed the Lizard with Hunter and Recon for 13 acts. That's it. That's the whole list. What? There's 2 upgrades that aren't heavy weapons or compulsory choices, and they're both on Bosk.
Can I make a wild prediction that turn 1 will generally be a Bosk 3-pip?
I'd say that's a reasonable thing to guess.
Would you just be looking to get a sniper team turn 1?
Well, I don't know. It depends what's around. Like snipers, they have incognito, so if they don't get any reasonable shots, they won't shoot. So it depends what's on offer. Things with like high armor counts or even like moderate armor counts. So your ATRTs, spiders. Or maybe we'll see some lats on the weekend. Like Bosk loves all that kind of stuff. So that way the aquas and the spiders can mop it up. But if the thing on offer is a sniper team, I'll take a sniper team, I suppose. The problem is I think the BX versions and the ARC versions are impervious. So you lose Bosk's Pierce into that, which is not ideal, but making them roll 4 out of 5 saves on the 3 turn is a tall order if I want to clip an activation nice and early. So it'll depend what's on offer.
Yeah, okay. And how do you think you'll go?
Look, we're washed up, so we're definitely going to go 3 and 2. I think I'll pair into you, Pete, round 3 or something, and then I'll have to start losing to drag down your SOS.
Always the way. Well, lots and lots of people coming. I think it should be an absolute ripper of an event. The venue is probably Australia's premier gaming store. Is it called the Gaming Store? I believe it is.
I don't know.
The gaming arena.
Yeah, who knows?
It's a shame that for such a good venue that there is no top cut if we end up with 2 5-0s. Great venue, shit rules.
Who also is bringing their own clock?
Oh, I'll bring a clock. I love a clock. I get distracted with drinking too much if I'm not playing to a clock. So I'll definitely have a clock.
You just want the excuse to get a beer on your own clock. That's what it is.
Look. Let's not give away my strategies. We got to keep some of it hidden. Do you guys want a clock? I'll bring a clock. Yeah.
I'd love a clock.
Yeah, clocks for everyone.
Okay, there you go. I'm bringing 3 clocks.
No worries. Well,
all right.
To the outro, Mitch, and this is all on you today.
Mitch to come up with an outro. That I can't say those words, even if we bleep them out later. Look, thanks for joining us for the first mini episode. If you like us to go through more of the releases in more or less detail, let us know, and we may or may not ignore you. But thanks for listening. Come back next time in 2 months for Pete talking about his probable 5-0 where he doesn't win the event anyway. And thanks to Greg Capable, Mr. Worldwide #1 Longshanks, for joining us today. Maybe we'll get him on if he wins the event. That's it.
Thanks for having me. This is a train wreck, and I appreciate the invite.